This is Dr. Miller, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to set up your Facebook page for your business, organization, or group. And this is material that I got from a social media expert, Andrea Vall, who I follow both on Facebook and Twitter. And I think she's really good and has a lot of great ideas. She's very experienced. So I have borrowed her ideas for this 10-point checklist to set up your Facebook page, and I think it'll get you going. First, you will go into your Facebook, and over on the right side, you click on this area over here, and you'll get this pull-down menu, and you're going to choose an overall category for your organization, and this could be a category that's a local business or a place. It could be a company, an organization, an institution. It could be actually a brand or a product. And if you were an artist or a band or some type of public figure, you can set up a page that way. Also, you can set up a page for some specific entertainment event that occurs. And you can, of course, choose to set up as a cause or just a general group, which would be referred to as a community in this case. So you do that with this area over here, create page, and that'll get you going. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is to name your page, and you've got to be a little bit thoughtful about this. You do have a limit of 70 characters, but you don't want to make your page overly long. You do want to make sure that you don't have any misspellings, you have the proper spaces between the words, and don't add .com to the end of your name. That's not necessary. Then you want to set up your About section, and this is really crucial because this is where a lot of information that tells people about what you're doing is going to be in the About section. So you want a short description of your page, but you also want to use the keywords function and think of lots of keywords that are appropriate. The keywords are important because your Facebook page will actually be in Google's search mechanism, and Google will search by the keywords. Also in your About section, you can, if you want, create a Facebook web address that's specific to your page. This is useful because the actual Facebook search function isn't very good. And if you've ever tried to search for somebody, particularly with a common name, it's really pretty hopeless. But you can have your own Facebook URL, and then you can send that around by email or put it on your regular website or different things like that. When you set up your Facebook URL, don't use any spaces or underscores. You can capitalize the words for readability. Actually, when people type in to find you, it doesn't really matter about the capitals, but it helps in terms of making your URL more readable. And you do have to recognize that other people already have a Facebook presence that's similar to yours. That specific address may not be available. Now, once you get this set, you got to be careful because it's really very difficult to transfer that web address or to change it. Now, your profile photo is really a critical element. It's a small little thing in the lower left corner of your Facebook page, and it sits on top of the other graphic area that's called your cover. Soon in this class, we're going to actually spend some time creating graphics specifically for social media, but at this point, you can just put something out there because you can always change these things. So one thing to remember, though, it is a square. So if you're using a logo that's kind of a horizontal logo or a vertical logo, it may look a little funny. Now, it's perfectly okay to use your face in that picture. It kind of humanizes your business a little bit. But remember, that profile picture will show up next to every post you make. So it needs to be, it's going to be small, but it needs to be interesting. And you want to make it something that actually works with that cover image. So here are some examples. You can see over here, this square is the actual profile photo, and this bigger area is the cover. But this guy has cleverly designed his cover and his photo, his profile photo, to work well together. And here's another example. And here's a different one. Doesn't have to be very elaborate, but you can see this one over here. You see how he's got his hand over on that makes it sort of interesting, and he's got the same color here, so it appears that he's actually on the cover. Okay, so that's your profile photo. Now the cover photo itself, the image is horizontal. It's 851 pixels wide and 315 pixels tall. So this is Andrea Vall's Facebook presence here, and this is actually just the cover photo. It's not the page. What's important is you don't want to hide anything behind that profile photo, and you need to make sure that you can take advantage of this if you want, and that is when you click on the photo, you can actually create some content over here. And so Andrea Vall actually uses it to create a little call to action for people to sign up for her newsletters. So here's some customized cover photos and how they operate. You can also add a button that's called a call to action button, and within the Facebook page you can select these different types of call to action buttons. So for example, if you want to have people provide their contact information or contact you, this is how you can do that. Once you've got it set up, you're going to want to go into the settings, and there's a general area, and there's some of these settings that are kind of important. Page visibility, you can create it and then go in and unpublish it, which means it'll be hidden. So you can work on it, and only you or others that you have given administration rights to or roles to can see what's going on, and then you can publish it when you get it ready. You can also set the messages to where people can send you messages. You definitely want to do that. Don't change the country or age restrictions, because that will actually prevent people from seeing your stuff, and there's really no reason to do it. Profanity can be an issue. You can just start off with the filter in the medium setting, and then if there are some very specific words you don't want to see showing up, then you can identify those words. You do want to allow people to post and to tag, because that's a form of engagement, and if you're trying to drive people to your business or organization, that's what you want them to do. Now, the administration role, you add page administrations under the page role section, which will be over here on the left. And when you add people to be administrators, you're giving them the rights to basically change your page. So you want to be careful who you give that to. Right there. Now there's these things called Facebook apps, and you can add the apps from either the more button that's just below your cover photo, Or on the left sidebar, apps are optional, but some of them are really useful. For example, there are custom tab apps, so you can have tabs that are customized for your particular needs. You can also use the capture form or a contact form app that will let people provide you with their contact information, which can be very important for your business. There are quiz and poll apps. There's even an app for Instagram that lets you post your Instagram photos on a special tab on your Facebook page. And if you're into Instagram, this is a great thing to do because you can integrate your Instagram content into Facebook. Okay, so you've added the apps from either the more or the sidebar over there. But before you start actually publishing your content of your page, go ahead and create 5 or 6 representative posts of what you'll be posting about. You don't want to just put this thing out there with nothing on it. So go ahead and set up a half a dozen or so representative posts and use the various types of posting, types of content, such as links, quizzes, images, infographics. Don't make them way heavily on the text, but text is obviously important as well. And then you may want to use a scheduler to manage the posting. Now, most important, once you've got your page up there, you want to invite people to like your page. So you can start with your Facebook friends, but you can also use other social media formats, or you can use email to invite others to like your page. Later you can create some more specific ways to drive people to like your page, including ads, but page likes are a critical part of being seen. And remember, there's lots and lots of traffic and lots of people on Facebook, so you want to try to distinguish yourself and make sure that people do like your page. Take these ideas and run with them and create your Facebook page.